Fire the Siege of Karacahisar, Ertugrul's most dangerous battle fire. The wind howled through the Anatolian plains as Ertuğrul Ghazi and his warriors stood on the edge of the dense forest, gazing at the towering fortress of Karacahisar Castle. The Byzantine commander Dragos had fortified his walls with hundreds of elite soldiers, believing no force could breach his defenses. But he had underestimated the lion of the Kayi Tribe. "Tonight we reclaim justice," Ertugrul declared, gripping the hilt of his sword. His Alps, Turgut Bomsi and Abdurrahman nodded in silent agreement. Their leader had never failed them before. Shield the plan of shadows. Under the cover of darkness, Abdurrahman Ghazi and a small group of warriors approached the castle gates, disguised as merchants. Inside their carts, hidden beneath sacks of grain, lay deadly weapons, swords, daggers, and firebombs. At the same time, Ertugrul and his cavalry positioned themselves beyond the hills, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. As dawn approached, the castle's guards lazily opened the gates, allowing supposed traitors inside. The ruse was working. The Alps, dressed as peasants, led their horses into the market square. Then a hawk's cry pierced the air, the signal. Abdurrahman ripped off his disguise, unsheathed his sword, and struck the first guard down. In an instant, the market square exploded into chaos as the hidden Alps drew their weapons and attacked. At that moment, Ertugrul and his cavalry thundered toward the castle gates. Crossed swords a clash of titans. The Byzantine knights rushed forward, their steel armor gleaming under the rising sun. Ertugrul, mounted on his steed, charged like a storm, his sword slicing through the enemy lines with unmatched precision. Turgut, wielding his mighty axe, roared as he swung through enemy ranks, his strikes shattering shields and armor like paper. Bomsi Bayrek, ever fearless, fought with both swords, striking down multiple foes at once. But then, a horn blared from the castle towers. Dragos had arrived. The Byzantine commander, dressed in black armor, strode onto the battlefield, his sword drawn. His eyes burned with fury. "Ertugrul," he bellowed, "you dare challenge me in my own fortress?" Ertugrul dismounted, his piercing gaze locked onto his enemy. "I do not challenge tyrants, I end them." The two warriors clashed swords, the force of their blows echoing across the battlefield. Dragos was strong, but Ertugrul was faster. He dodged, countered, and struck with lethal precision. The fight was fierce, sword against sword, skill against skill. Then, with a sudden feint, Ertugrul dodged Dragos' swing and countered with a devastating strike to his ribs. The commander staggered back, his face twisted in pain. "Your reign ends today," Ertugrul said, his voice calm yet final. With one swift motion, he thrust his sword through Dragos' heart. Fire the fall of Karacahisar. As Dragos collapsed, the Byzantine forces lost their will to fight. One by one, they surrendered, throwing down their weapons. The Kayi flag was raised over the castle towers, signaling victory. Ertugrul stood atop the fortress walls, gazing at the battlefield below. His people had won, not just a battle, but a future free from oppression. As the sun set, his mind was already preparing for the next challenge. New enemies would rise. New battles would come. But as long as he lived, justice would prevail. Because he was Ertugrul Ghazi, the unbreakable warrior of the Kayi Tribe.